Right. So we are live, but there's absolutely nobody watching. And I kind of figured that. I went to uh, bed kind of early last night, and then I woke up early this morning. So I took a nap this afternoon, a long nap, like 2 hours, I think it was. So right now it's technically my bedtime, but I can't sleep. So I figured I would get on here. I put it on Hello Talk to see if anybody needed any help who might be living in a place where it's kind of morning time now, maybe Korea or Japan. So this is not a time that I usually go, and it's on such short notice. And I figured nobody is going to show up anyway, but maybe I can help somebody with some English learning if they need it. If you're new here, I am an English teacher. I have been teaching English in the United States for almost 20 years, which is why this is pretty much my bedtime. I'm old, but I figured I'm up, and if anybody needs help, in other places, most of my viewers are from Europe or South America, a few from the United States, but not so many. I figured it's kind of early morning over in the parts of Asia. What's going on, man? What's going on, John Bailey? Yeah, I'm not usually on at this time. So as I don't know if you were here, but I had I had taken a nap, and I'm not usually up this late. It's late over here in the East Coast, or on the East Coast. So I'm just awake, and I figured, I don't know, is anybody around? I can maybe help them with English. I don't think John, you need help with English, but I'm glad you showed up. How you been? You're eating a T-bone for dinner. Nice. And I heard that the coronavirus cases in California are definitely under control. In my state as well. In fact, the governor came out with a plan that we might reach some kind of normalcy by July, maybe July, sort of. So, Angie's Closet, what's up? Okay, so you live in America. Oh, you live in Greece now. Wait, you live in the United States now. Okay, so that's why you are awake. Yeah, well, thanks for your support. I check in with your channel every so often. I'm not into fashion as much as you are, but I like watching some of the products that you bring out. Some very expensive products too that I will never be able to afford, but I like looking at them. So thanks for your support. I figured I would get on here for a couple minutes. It's a weird time. It was unannounced. I figured probably nobody will show up, but the fact that John and Angie did, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, best of luck. Best of luck. The YouTube hustle, right? Trying to get views, trying to produce decent content that people want to watch. It's good though. It's fun. You never know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I watch. What did I see? The last one you unveiled a pair of very nice shoes. I feel like I couldn't afford those kind of shoes, but it's like, wow, very nice. Yeah. Talk to me. Got a question? Andreas, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. Can't complain. Yeah, so it might be mostly English speaking people in here right now, but if anybody has a question about anything, I will answer it. If not, I'll just probably keep rambling. John says my buddy says that the beaches over in Malibu were as crowded as usual. Oh, parking lots are closed. Oh, very nice. You have a friend in from Rome. Very nice. Yeah, the state parks here are closed. Some of our beaches are open here in Maine, and of course we don't have as many people in Malibu. than in Malibu. But Ralphie, why are you awake, man? I figured I'd just come on here and nobody in Europe would be watching, but guess you are. Nice. Thanks. Okay, so when we say let's support each other's channel, let's support the first one. Let's support each other's channel. Yeah, it's a possessive, and since you technically own the channel, you would say that. You would say that. And then just make sure you have your apostrophe S right there. Now this is perfect. This is all English teacher proofread and everything. That's perfect. You can just copy and paste that as much as you want. Capital L, period at the end. Yeah, so I think we're in phase 1 right now, our governor said. Yeah, you're welcome, Angie. Best of luck. Our governor said we're in phase 1, which pretty much looks like lockdown. And by the end of May, we should be into phase 2, where some small businesses can open, some restaurants can open, not at full capacity. But I do feel bad. We have very few cases here in the United States. Nicholas, what's up, man? We have very few cases. Oh my gosh. How are you? E-Ray. Nice to see you. You're number 1 in the contest, by the way. You were the first to enter the contest for, and I put it up on the Facebook page, and I do remember that you are number 1. Yeah, I do have a Facebook page. The description should be, the link is in the description. So I do have that. Oh, what else I say? Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of the restaurants here that we have basically no cases. I think we had 8 new cases today. It's really dropping off. And a lot of our cases, I think we've had 1,000 cases in my whole state. But most of the people have recovered. Maybe like 200 active cases. So it would be nice if we could start letting some of the small businesses open. If everybody can social distance and wear their mask, you know. Not sure if John is here. Okay, Andreas, thank you. Yeah, follow, leave a comment on that video, and I will enter you into that contest. Maybe you want a 30-minute tutoring session or a 30-minute conversation with me, since I have been an English teacher for, like I said, 20 years, and I do know quite a bit about the English language. So, where do I live? I live near, well, in the world, I live near Boston. But I live in Maine. I live in Maine, about 2 hours north of Boston. So, not too bad. Yeah, John, I agree. I think a lot of the country can open. I think in Maine we could open pretty well. Because I do worry about that second wave. I think in the fall we might have to close back down. So let's try to get the economy moving, you know, social distancing, being safe, washing hands. If you're older, of course, stay inside. If you're young and fairly healthy, let's try to do what we can, still staying apart. But yeah, I agree, John. I think we did a good job. We've kept the cases down. I would hate to see them skyrocket, but you know, we gotta get on with some sort of life. I don't think it should be completely normal, let it rip or anything, but let's find a happy balance here, a happy medium. So like I said, I'm not really ready to go to bed. I'll probably go to bed in about 20 minutes, but I figured if anybody who doesn't normally see the live streams, because I normally cater to South America, the Americas, and Europe, but Ralphie is awake somehow. Ralphie is asking, oh, Angie, oh, you live in Florida. The governor there is the opposite of my governor. That governor was really reluctant to close the state, and it seemed there were cases, but it wasn't overwhelming the hospitals. Unfortunately, people died, unfortunately, but yeah, Florida should be interesting to see what happens there. All right. I do have some playlists. Khalifi, what's up, man? Why are you awake? Khalifi, yeah, Khalifi and I were supposed to talk during the time I was taking a nap, really. This is why I'm awake so late, is because I took a nap. I was not feeling well. I don't know, my sleep pattern was a little off. When you don't have work, and I usually wake up early, but Ralphie is asking, am I taking notes on common English questions to make some sort of playlist with short videos explaining the questions? That I do. I was thinking about getting questions about doing a school video, because a lot of questions come up about schools, and I would like to make a short 10-minute video answering questions that viewers have sent in about schools. So yes, I was just thinking about that today. I have made playlists for, like, there's a slang playlist. There's also a phrasal verbs playlist. So, but yeah, I would like to condense it so people can review it. Some people watch this on replay, but I can understand that an hour of your life might be a little long. So yeah, great idea, Ralphie. I just don't know how to go about getting the questions from people unless I did it on Facebook. But I am not taking notes. I have all I can do with, when it's busy, keeping control of the chat, trying to keep up with that. You might have seen that I missed some questions sometimes. So I suppose I could go back and rewatch. But yeah, I think the more I do, this is about maybe 25, 26 live streams. I think the more that I do, the more I realize which questions keep coming up. So, Khalifi, it's got what time? What crazy time is it? It must be almost. Well, maybe you're waking up in the morning. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're waking up. I bet. Is that what it is, Khalifi? Are you awake? Maybe you're gonna have something to eat and then get your day going. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to ramble because there are 7 people in here, and maybe you're new to the English language, and if you hear me speak possibly very clearly and very slowly, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you're new here, I'm not sure how many people are, but you might want to subscribe, ring that bell. I don't usually go this late, and it is just about my bedtime. I'm often in bed an hour earlier than this, but my kids are about to go to bed. They go to bed at 11. It's 11 o'clock here. So, yeah, John, I work on my Italian every single day. I haven't missed a day for a year. So I make sure that I, excuse me, carve out some time for my Italian, between a half an hour and an hour a day, sometimes a little longer. And I recently joined this thing called Link. It's an app, and I do pay for it. It's like $13 a month, I think. But it's amazing. They have these little mini stories. I think there are 60 of them for Italian. And you can read them. They will read them to you. You can just listen to the audio if you want. They're about 3 or 4 minutes each. And you can import news stories from the newspaper. Those are definitely difficult for me to read in Italian. But these mini stories are actually really good, and they're helping me with my listening comprehension. That's what I'm trying to work on now. I can read at maybe a fifth grade level with pretty good comprehension, but my trouble is listening right now. So I'm working on listening, and then hopefully I'll work on speaking, but the speaking will come later. Yeah, E-Ray, I often talk about native accents, and I would say that keep your accent. I don't know where you're from. Yeah, John, you can do Link for free just to get an idea, but to get the full effect, you have to pay. You have to pay. But so far, I like it, and I'll see how it goes. I've only had it for like 3 or 4 days. E-Ray, about that accent. Hey, where are you from, by the way? Do you mind just putting what country you're from? So many people want a native accent, and maybe John will agree with me, but I think a lot of Americans like to hear a Moroccan accent or a Brazilian accent. Like, it's cool. Everybody talks like we do. John and I probably talk very similarly. We probably talk very much the same. I think California and Maine, we really don't have very different accents. So a lot of people sound like us in the United States. It's unique when we hear other people. Oh, Mexican. Yeah, so Mexican, Brazilian, there's a lot of people that really like that accent. In fact, some Americans like find it more attractive than an American accent. Mexican, Spanish, Italian accents, Russian. They're exotic. So I would aim to speak clearly, but I wouldn't aim to speak like an American. Personally, I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah. Have you been watching his daily? I see. I can't. I need the subtitles for Albie's videos, and I will print out his transcripts, and then I will go translate them. But yeah, I can't quite pick up everything. I was watching one from a year ago with him and his wife, and they were talking about how she was, because she's Brazilian, you may know, and they were talking about how she was learning Italian too. Yeah, see what John says? Oh yeah. Accents are cool. Accents are cool. Esther's Media. What is going on? Welcome. Chinese accent. It's very cool. Very cool. I think the big thing is to be understood. You don't want, native English speakers to struggle too much to hear what you're saying. So you want to be clear, but don't worry about sounding like a native. Sound like, of course, Russian accent. Russian accents to a lot of Americans, I think, are tough. A Chinese accent, often people will maybe assume that you're a little bit smarter than a lot of Americans. So yeah, some of our best doctors in the United States are of Asian descent, So an Indian accent's cool. Wow, there's a bunch of them. Russian, very strong accent. And of course, what's going on, Raphael? What's up, my boy? What's going on? The guy who likes all the archaic language saying, my boy. Nice. I like it. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Esther. Are you watching from China right now? Because if so, I try to be kind. Because if so, do you have a VPN? How are you watching from? You're probably not in China right now, I wouldn't think. But I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. Oh, cool, John. Your wife is Chinese. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm sure LA has nothing but accents. Right. A lot of people, I think some people from outside of the United States don't realize that I think 80% of Americans are native English speakers. It might be a little high, but 15% I think are non-native English speakers. Americans speaking probably mostly Spanish, but Chinese, Vietnamese. Angie is wondering, yeah, okay, so my latest video, I did a video on irregular verbs part 5. And I did make sure that I paid attention to the prepositions. So I did a little work with that comma wise, like with commas, and I also did some work with prepositions. And I talked about how you can move the prepositional phrases around to a little bit of a degree, to a little bit. You can move them around. So you may want to watch that. I think it's like my latest video that's not live. And I do spend, I think it's about 11 or 12 minutes. I spend probably 2 or 3 minutes going over punctuation and prepositions. So, yeah, I wouldn't think it's not, are you from China? Are you in China, I should say, Esther? If so, it would be morning over there. I believe in like Tokyo, was it 8 in the morning, maybe, something like that? Hey Siri, what time is it in Tokyo?
It's 12:02
Oh,
p.m.
it's
in Tokyo,
noon.
Japan.
So probably a little bit earlier in some parts of China. Oh, Raphael. Yeah. Your level of English must be pretty high, I think, Raphael. Like to. All right, man. You as well. Sleep well. Yeah, I'm going to be going to sleep pretty soon. You have a couple more. My wife and I were thinking about watching Ozark. I've mentioned that a couple times on the live stream. I hear good things about Ozark, but I'm so busy with other things. Tiger King, we've watched that. See you, John. Have a good one. All right, my kids should be coming down to bed. Their bedtime is 11. It's 11:03. I'm gonna have to check on them, and then their rooms are right down. I'm in my basement, and they sleep and it's a furnished basement. They sleep on the first floor, so I'll probably have to get going pretty soon. But does anybody have any questions about learning English before I go? Questions? I will be live tomorrow, probably in about 12 hours. I'll probably go live at about noon tomorrow. The chat gets a little crazy then. This is nice because I can keep up with everything that is said. Gets a little hectic in the noontime chats, but it's good. Ozark's good. All right, John. Hey, have fun with the wife. See you guys. Oh, Raphael. Yeah, stuff you missed in history class. I love all of the stuff podcasts. What's the one I listen to? Stuff to blow your mind. Stuff to blow your mind. It's science. And then those two guys for a little while had a podcast called Invention, and they're getting rid of that. Invention is going away, and they're going back to 2 episodes of stuff to blow your mind, but it's history based. Yeah, those two ladies on stuff you missed in history class are pretty good. They sometimes, yes, yes, I do. Yeah, um, yeah, they're very good. They're very good, but their voices are very calm, and sometimes it helps me fall asleep. Same with the invention guys, but I like them a lot. And I also listen to tech stuff, but I try to go to sleep to him also. Maybe too bright tech stuff. He just did tech stuff. What it sounds like. It's all about technology. And I was listening to he did one on the What's Up app on how I didn't realize that Facebook bought What's Up for like $21 billion. What's up? I WhatsApp. It's called WhatsApp. I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer. Stuff you should know when my kids were younger. We listened to that all the time. I like the host, Chuck and what's the other guy's name? Chuck and I can't remember, but yeah. Oh, I can imagine the science guys. They're a little bit. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Oh, my son. You probably can't hear. My son is heading to bed. Hey, good night, Ace. Good night. Yeah, so I don't want to keep him up. I probably have to get going, but I wanted to hop on here for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. You might check out the guys on, they do invention, and maybe it's not, but yeah, the science terms can get a little bit up there, I bet. But I wonder because Rafael, you're from Brazil, I wonder if Portuguese and English, if the science terms are kind of the same, because, excuse me, ours mostly come from Latin. So, and I would like to learn Portuguese. And that Link app that I bought, I have Italian. That's my focus. And I got a little bit of French, a little bit of Russian. I keep wanting to push, just to hear some Portuguese. But I think 3 languages, especially when my Italian is not very strong, I think 4 languages would be pushing it. I can't do 4 because every time I, study French or Russian, it takes me away from the Italian. So I kind of neglect. Oh, Raphael. Oh, don't worry. We missed you. We missed you. I always like your questions. Very good questions. Sometimes you answer other people's questions too, which is great. And Vitali does that. Ralphie does that. It really, really helps out. They're good answers too. So, all right. This was fun. This was low key. I feel like I read everything, so it's not that bad. If you're new here, I don't know if anybody is, but you may want to subscribe, ring the bell. I will go live in about 12 hours. So it's 11 o'clock here. I plan on going live 13 hours at noon tomorrow. I do have some meetings with some other teachers, but I think if I go noon, it'll be good. So thanks for joining me on such short notice. This was fun. And I'll see you if you choose to come back. I'll see you in about 13 hours or so. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you.